Hey, welcome back to the Signature Movement. It's your girl Tanya D. Floyd in the office. Um, I haven't done a video from the office in a while, but today I needed to come down here to tell you this. 2 points I want to make. They don't sound like they go together at first, but I'm gonna work them all together. Watch, you know how I do. All right, so first thing I want to talk about is I was up at 5:30 this morning. I've been up early several days this week. I think I know why. I have this is not the point, but I need to give you this backstory. So I've been taking my ashwagandha supplement for stress relief. Right? I did my research about it. I've taken it before, but I was doing some other things and taking a multivitamin and different things at the same time. So I didn't really understand what it did for me or if it did anything. And then I changed. But in the description, you'll see the link to the one that I'm taking now. But I started taking my ashwagandha again because I felt a little overwhelmed with the way some things was going. And, you know, everyday stress, right? But I started last Friday, and I got to tell you, I have noticed a significant decline in outbursts, episodes where I want to hurt somebody or say all the mean, nasty things to somebody. I have not been all day thinking of solutions for all the millions of problems that I have. I'm just leaving it up to the Lord. It's it's been a struggle for me to do that, but I'm telling y'all, it's something different is happening. I feel the difference. I feel like I get enough rest, even though I don't sleep a long time. If that makes any sense. Like, I think that's why I've been waking up early. And I haven't been going to bed super early, but the time change and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on at one time. But yeah, I've been going to bed at a decent hour, like between 8 and 9. And then I wake up around 5. But I think a lot of y'all do that to go to work. So maybe I'm better off than I was. Because I would go to bed like 9 or 10 o'clock and wake up like 7 and still be like, I ain't get no rest. But I swear I feel rested. Okay? While I was up looking at, text messages and stuff, this is what all of this came about, these thoughts. See, I love it when plans come together and thoughts start to, collide and make sense at the same. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So, by now, y'all should know that a lot the first 2 or 3 minutes for some randomness or some stuff that don't seem like it mean nothing, but it mean everything. But this is how it came about. So, I was up. That's why I was up. And my cousin sent me something, probably last night, but I was asleep. So I saw it this morning. It was a video about this celebrity couple, and they're divorcing, right? And then that got me to thinking about other celebrity couples that's been in the news lately, and blah blah blah. Somebody getting together, somebody getting separating, somebody's divorcing, right? Okay. So the topic was, we didn't talk about them because we be talking about people, and I be giving my predictions about what I think they're doing and why and how long it's gonna last and all that kind of stuff, right? This new couple, I put some time on that new couple thing a little bit. I ain't gonna tell you who it is though. But anyway, so we talked about these couples, and this particular couple we missed. I don't know how we missed them. They've been all over the news. But anyway, this particular couple, the man was on somebody's show talking about his feelings and something. And, they tried and they can't work it out. It's just never going to work, right? Anyway, he asked me what I thought about the video and the couple. So I broke it down like this. And I'm telling you, it's going to start to click in a second. But I said, I believe this man is on a self-improvement journey. I believe he has realized that he owes himself more. And he feels like, he can't stay in the current relationship and expect for it to work out because of the way they fall on different issues, right? Okay, here's my thing. Now, for those who don't know, I was married for roughly 10 years. 2000 to late 2009. So 9 years and 9 months. Okay. I've been divorced for almost 14 years. So, yeah. I've learned a lot on both sides of this thing. In 2011, after I had been divorced for a year and some change, I wrote a book, a novel. Now, I've said it many times before. I write what I feel. I write what's going on. I write what I see. I write from conversations I've had with people. I write for all the reasons about reality that I like or dislike. I write all of it because, it's like, I mean, I've been to therapy. I don't have an objection to going to therapy, but I also have this tool to use as therapy. So I use it as much as I can. And here I am on YouTube telling you stuff all the time because therapy, okay? So anyway, it was my therapy. Trying to get over that divorce. It was tough. It was real tough. Sometimes I feel like, when you grieve the loss of somebody, it never goes away. It's a kind of grief. So yeah, I'm still mourning the death of that relationship. Okay. But this couple has reminded me, and the topic of talking about these couples has reminded me of some things. And I always tell you, at different parts of the year or whatever, like right now, NANOWRIMO month, National Novel Writing Month in November is up. And people are doing these challenges. They want to write a novel in 30 days. Well, I wrote 2 novels before. I ain't writing no more novels in November or no other month unless I feel like it. It's going to take longer than a month anyway. But my point is, I've been advertising my books. Nothing new under the sun. And the sun hasn't set. Okay. This is the juice of the story that brought everything about. This is the sequel to this one. They go together. You gotta have both. Because you're only gonna have part of the story. Even though it's a real good story, you're gonna feel like, oh, but this one gives you hope. And it tells you how everything turns out. So, gotta get them both. But I keep telling you to get these books. Because A, I put my foot in these books, okay? And B, hold on. While you looking at these books, let me explain something. So this friend of mine a long time ago used to he used to be a bouncer in the club somewhere. And he met this artist uptown named Anakin. Anakin drew this for me. He drew a couple of things for me. My Timeless Thoughts and Words of Wisdom covers, he did those too. But he at the time he was working out of his apartment, he was like, I'm gonna do the picture for you, you pay me for the picture and it's yours. So I ain't had to worry about licensing or none of that stuff, and I'm reproduce the hell out of these pictures because they're beautiful. Look at this. Just look at that art. All right, Anderson does murals now on buildings in lots of communities, in lots of countries, obviously, too. But he did the mural on U Street, Ben's Chili Bowl, and a few other places in the city. But yeah, he been to other countries too, and he does these wonderful caricature type murals. People used to be like, is that you? Nah, that ain't me. My cousin Marcia, who was 13 at the time, had some pictures. She liked to draw and stuff. And you know how teenagers be like hiding their feelings, and then they have a thing and you want to encourage them to keep doing the thing. So I stumbled across some of her art one day and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'm going to use it on something. So I used it on my second novel. Okay? Now, let's get that out of the way because you saw them and you like, ooh, I'm proud of it because everybody always did. But anyway, yeah, back to what I was saying. So I keep telling you to buy the book because the book's good and because the books are real and because the books tell our stories. And I'm right now all about telling our stories because a lot of people keep saying, well, when are you going to write about this or when are you going to do that? That ain't my story. I don't know nothing about that. I ain't writing about that. I write about what I know. I write about what I feel. And I write about the things that I've heard and witnessed. And, I'm a student of life all day long. And people just be telling me stuff sometime. And I'll be like, why you keep talking to me? I don't need none of this information. But they just be telling me stuff, right? So I got to write our stories for us. Because who else? Why not me? So anyway, nothing new under the sun. The stories of the celebrity situations were like, Floyd, you got to tell the people why they got to buy the book. It ain't just because the book is good. It ain't just because it's our story. But it's because it's still relevant. Nothing new under the sun. It's a scripture in the Bible in Ecclesiastes that says that all day long there's nothing new under the sun. People just do this and do that, and that's how it is, and that's how they are. And it's because people, right? Nothing new under the sun. It just rang a bell with me when I titled the book. And it makes so much sense every single day that I live this life. But why am I talking about nothing new on this right now? Well, the celebrity couple that we were talking about reminded me how. Okay, so my opinion of the people that I've never met in my life, and this is just what I've seen in a couple of snippets and behaviors and body language and different things. I think it reminds me of a time when I was a young woman, maybe 19, 20. I was dating somebody. I thought I was going to marry him and all these things. And my aunt said to me, marry somebody, marry a man who loves you more than you love him. Marry a man who loves you more than you love him. And at the time, I was looking at her like, well, that don't sound right. That don't sound even. That don't sound like something I would even be able to put my whole self into. I didn't understand at the time. But I kept it with me because it was a reason. This woman don't just go around saying stuff, and she ain't no flighty type chick. She knows some stuff, and she says what it is all the time. She's not one of those. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to just carry it with me until I understand it. And when I got to the point where I was getting ready to marry somebody, I asked myself the question. But it didn't matter because I loved him so much, right? And I was thinking, well, she probably right, but she might be wrong, so I can't deny what's going on right here. I'm going to go ahead and marry this man because he asked me. And because, yeah, that's what we were doing. We was already doing all the stuff up to the point, so let's do it. We did it. Okay. So, as I was in that relationship, and as I'm talking about this man, as he's talking during this interview, it just rings all these bells, and it's like, he loved her, I'm sure. And as always, in our lives as women, we get to a point where we have to pivot. And a lot of people use the word change, but I'm not using that word. I don't like that word for these things. When women take on these other responsibilities, it's like putting on new layers of clothes. You still you. Now you got on this shirt, this button-up shirt, or this other layer, and then this other layer, and this other layer. Then you add this scarf and these other accessories. That's how women go through life. We pick up other layers of things that add to who we are on top of who we are. It does not internally, change the basis of who we are. Let me explain. I know this is gonna start some fights and some discussions, but in general, you become a mother. Well, then you gotta take care of your kids and your husband. Yeah, and you somehow forget about yourself sometimes. And unless, now this is key, I think what's missing in that relationship in particular and some of these other ones out here is the man in the relationship is, so used to her being this and that for him. But he doesn't recognize her as that woman when she has all these extra layers on. She's not the woman I married anymore. She is, but she got some layers on. And one thing that could combat some of that separation that comes in the relationship over the years is if he's an active participant in some of the things that she's layered with. Well, now she has kids, and she got to work her job, and she got to be with him and take care of him, and she got to take care of her. Well, it used to be just y'all two. It was easier. So now that there's two of y'all, you going to help her with some of that other crap? Because that will help you to still see her as the woman that you knew. Remember? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, she's got her family. I think that part played a part in this whole divorce thing, too. Her family. Well, she has this whole culture. She has this whole family, and she loves them. And now, today, if you look at her, you probably say she has everything she ever wanted. She looks so happy. She sounds so happy. And her man over there miserable because she loving life in layers, and he over there like, but I ain't married all that. I married this right here. You see what I'm saying? So, as she's like walking around with all her lovely adornments and all her lovely responsibilities and all her lovely accomplishments and things, but that's not what I married. And then the whole irreconcilable differences thing comes up because, yeah, he loved you then, And he probably still loves you now, or what he remembers of how you used to be, but he doesn't love all these other things that come with you. And probably part of that is because he wasn't along for the ride, helping you navigate and manage and shoulder and, be all things to all the people that you supposed to be all things to, because he only wanted you for him. He can't understand that. He don't want that. Even if it's his kid, well, to a degree, he appreciates that you had that baby and you're beautiful and all these things. And yeah, she's all of us, but you gotta take care of him. And that kind of man is not the kind of man who loves you more than you love him. What that got to do with these books, Floyd? Well, nothing new under the sun. Begins with a divorce. First words in the book. You get a snapshot. This is how the book is set up. You get a snapshot of each woman's life, and then you get her story, and what led up to the snapshot and what happens afterwards. Okay, 4 women, 4 stories. Well, more than 4 stories, but still 4 women at the center of this book. The first character, snapshot. I want a divorce. First words in the book. That's what he said. That's what he meant. They got a divorce. But why? Okay. Again, she started out this way. He loved her. She put on some layers. And then it's like, oh, you've changed. But she ain't changed. She just got extra layers on top. I bet you if you take that broad on vacation here and there, she strips all them things off. All the layers come off. She just down to the bare bones. It's just me and you, babe. Take her on dates frequently. She can strip all that off. But it's partly your responsibility to make sure that you keep the woman that you had. Y'all ain't really ready for that. Y'all not really participating in that. Men. Talking about men. Yeah. So I think that's what happened with that couple. And the sad part about it is, again, she looked like she was so completely happy and had everything she ever wanted. And now he's like, I'm miserable because you're not making me the focus. Yeah, part of that's your fault, player. But on the other hand, it's like you can't force what's not there. So he can't make himself love her more or accept all the things or all the people that come with her or the entourage or the success or the new jobs and all of that. He can't. He's not that guy. And therefore, you can't hold on to a marriage that way. But here's another celebrity couple telling y'all how to do stuff, starting arguments. And I might be the only one in the world who thinks this because I'm the only one who I ever heard say it, but I think they're doing it just right. When you get to points like that, and I think everybody gets to points like that because we all put on layers. I know very few men in this lifetime who have taken on the kind of stuff that women always take on. I know very few men who take their kids or other people's kids and put them first. I know very few men. Do I know one? I don't know. Let me think about it. But I don't know any men. I don't know many men who would layer up like women always do and are expected to do with the feelings and the people and the challenges and the responsibilities. Remember that strong woman video I did the other day? We ain't doing that just for fun no more. Because y'all think that's how it's supposed to be. I ain't strong. I don't want strong. I want help. Yeah, you want to be on this team? Be on this team, player. Play your part. But don't be looking at me like I ain't handling all of this right and I ain't so attractive because it's weighing me down. Because it's heavy. You going to help me carry it or not? You said you was my man. We married, ain't we? We partners, ain't we? Let's go. Come get this. I'm still here. So just if you can envision that, it's like just she's here and she just put on a bunch of layers, but you can help her manage them and take them off whenever you want them off. Take her somewhere. Take her outside of that whole responsibility thing, and I bet you'll remember who she is. You'll see the woman that you always had. But y'all keep letting us get wore down, and then you say you're not that attractive no more. Well, I'm tired. It is what it is. But yeah, I think the other couple was doing it just right. They've been together for 100 years. And you know what? I know some real life couples who've been together 100 years. And I know it's not because they've remained the same people without the layers. Everybody got layers on them in these relationships. That's the difference. They still together because, those not her kids. They our kids. He was as active as she was in all the things. And in a couple of relationships, he went to work and she did not. But when he came home from work, yeah, his plate was on the table, but she was upstairs watching TV while his plate was on the table. And they talked about whatever, and they hung out in the streets afterwards together all the time. Together all the time. They had responsibilities together. They had fun together. So she was always able to be herself without being weighed down. And this one relationship, that aunt that told me to marry somebody and love you more, she's still married to this day. And they fight like cats and dogs sometimes. Like, they say stuff. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, they don't mean none of it. They just be, oh, shut up, go on somewhere and sit down. They love each other to death. It's hilarious the way they try it, but go on, be quiet. Ain't nobody talking to you, go somewhere. Why don't you go on outside? Why don't you go this, that? Please. Anyway. But yeah, still together. Everybody work. Everybody do stuff with the kids. Everybody was responsible for the kids. And she had time to herself. She had money for herself. She's never looked like weighted down by all the layers because he was a partner. He still is. Man, we went to a wedding recently, and that man, we went to the reception. We were sitting at the table. He got up, he went to the bar, and whatever he got for them both, and he brought it back to the table. She ain't never had to get up and do nothing. He takes care of his woman, always has. They still together. This other couple, celebrity couple I keep talking about, I think they're doing it right. He has said publicly, I'm going to always support her. I'm going to always be there for her. Somebody said they ain't been together in years, but guess what? They still married. My girlfriend told me we went to get mani-pedis when I was getting married. She said to me, she took me to get mani-pedis. We were sitting in the pedicure chair next to each other, and she said, I want you to always remember this. Marriage is the glue that holds you together until you fall back in love again. I was like, what? Here we go again with some of these abstract thoughts that I never considered. And okay, I'm going to keep it in my pocket, but it's always been right here with me, just like that other thing. Marry somebody who loves you. Marry a man who loves you more than you. That's important. Not somebody. Marry a man who loves you more than you love him. It's very key for men in particular because of the way men are made and because of the way they think and the way they operate. If he is invested in you, and that, here we go back to the other video where I talked about happy wife, happy life. If he is invested in you, if he is completely sure that he has chosen the right one for his life, he relies on you, but he also knows he can't do this life without you. So he gonna make sure you got what you need. Happy wife, happy life. It's not about her acting up and being like, I want X, Y, and Z and give it, and everybody believes in this world that a woman should be able to do that. That's not what this is about, and that's not right. It's about him knowing that if his woman ain't right, if she ain't happy, then he can't have the kind of peace he wants. So he gonna make damn sure she got whatever she need to keep going so that she can keep him up. That's what it means. So yeah, these kind of men, if he loves you more than you love him, ain't nobody gotta say that, but you know, if he's doing all that, if he's showing all that, then you go ahead and be with that man. He gonna always look out for you because you are an extension of him. You are the thing that keeps him going, the thing that keeps him, sane, the thing that keeps him together. He values you and your input and your presence. It don't matter how many pounds you got on you. It don't matter how many layers you got on you. He gonna have your back. That's what that means. That other thing, marriage is glue to hold you together till you fall in love again. Yep. This other couple, if they don't live together, they don't travel together, they don't play together all the time, whatever they don't do together, it don't matter. They still together. And you know what? I think part of the other key in that relationship that just broke up is I think time can help them. And why? Because sometimes, even if that man didn't love you more, or even if he forgot that he loved you more, or even if he's just, not really seeing you for who you are today and appreciating that, all that don't matter. Because time and distance sometimes will show you what you should have had, or what you had and lost, or what you need and didn't realize it or didn't appreciate at the time. And eventually you can come around and mature enough and see enough of the world to realize she was right there the whole time. Let me go get her. So even if it's over, it might not be over. But that's what I was thinking about 5:30 this morning. Nothing new under the sun. Is just that. I want a divorce. He said, you all about your family, you all about your business, you all about all these things. You don't really have time for me. You don't really love me. You don't really have nothing for me. Because he was used to her being all about him. Well, all these layers require more of me over here. And instead of helping, you over here going, what about me? That's what happened. And nothing new under the sun. And yeah, I wrote this book in 2011. It's still relevant today. A divorce. And then she got to reinvent herself. Because now she's not your wife. She still got all these layers, but now she got all these layers of feelings to get through too. Child, that's swimming upstream ain't no joke. Ooh, the layers. Just imagine all the wet layers now, because, with the divorce on top of the layers, it's all like heavy, wet clothes. Ugh. How are you supposed to get through life with that going on? And let me tell you, your girl Charlie Floyd went into a black hole. But I climbed out. I clawed my way out of that hole. And eventually, I got into a rhythm. The next thing you know, I was a whole, not happy, but I was I was moving. I was moving along. I didn't even really think about the feelings. I didn't go into the feelings. I just kept going and doing and being and showing up and planning. And then I got some things. And I accomplished quite a few things. And now I'm at a point where I can look back and go, it was tragic, but that was never going to work that way. Maybe one day he'll wake up and say, you know what, Charlie Floyd, it was you. I don't know. But I ain't waiting on it. I'm just saying. In this book, that woman got over that hill. She became such a bright light. She is like my ideal. She is who I aspire to be. And then in the sequel, she was shining so bright, she couldn't keep them off of her. They were like, wait a minute, I'm trying to see you about something. And she was like, I might, but I don't really need that right now. I'm good. And then eventually, something happened. But you gotta get the books to find out what happened. So yeah, art imitates life, imitates art, imitates life. It's all still relevant. It's all still going on. There is literally nothing new under the sun. Now, the second point I wanted to talk about, I know it's been a long time coming, but the second point I wanted to talk about was, seems unrelated. Sometimes people like to argue. I've been thinking about this for several days, but I ain't never really think about it should be a video or even part of a video. But sometimes when you have a conversation with somebody, especially somebody who's in a therapy session or been to therapy or whatever, they say the word but cancels out everything you said before. So, like for instance, if you say, I love you, but I can't stand the way you treat me. Well, does that mean that I can't stand the way you treat me and I don't love you? No, it don't mean that. But is a qualifier, it is a caveat, it is a, hey, here's a flag, think about this in addition to what I said, if you ask me. It does not cancel out anything. And I've used the word in the English language many times. I know what it means. Don't come telling me in no conversation, no argument, or nothing else that because I said but, you're going to forget about everything I said before that. You ain't listening. And I don't want to talk to you. So the word but, it's a conjunction. It adds two thoughts together. It might be contradictory thoughts that go together, but they can still go together. So sometimes what you need to do when you talking to certain kind of people that's going to piss you off, who want to argue all the time about stuff, just say and. Because a lot of times when we say but, we mean and. Or we should be using the word and. For example, I love you and I can't stand the way you treat me. It's both. It's both. It sounds confusing, but if you've ever been there, you know what I mean. It's both. I want to be with you, but I don't think you're ready. It's both. I want to be with you, and I don't think you're ready for me, so I'm going to just leave right there. It's both. We're still friends, but sometimes you be doing stuff to make me think you ain't on my team. It's both. We're still friends. And every now and then you do stuff that show me you're not on my team. I'm going to still be your friend, though, because, you know, all the times that you came through for me and all of the things that we've, you know, connected on and all the ways that we are still of the same mind. But in certain areas, we just couldn't be more different. It's both. We connect in a lot of areas and we clash in a lot, too. So it's both. Yeah. I want a job, but I don't really want to go outside every day and commute and do all that stuff. I want a job, and I don't want to commute. I can have a job where I can do both. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we say but it's and. And in these relationships, that's where the connectivity is. In these relationships, in these books, and in these real life situations, yes, I love you and I need to go my own way. You can divorce or not divorce, but, you know, sometimes it's not about where we are today. You know, follow me on it. Sometimes it's not about, you know, the situations that we find ourselves in right this minute that don't allow us to align properly. Marriage is a union of two imperfect people who have their individual paths. However, they stay connected at the root some kind of way. You have to determine that in your own marriage, but marriage is two people growing up. We not one person. We become one unit. We become one team, but we are still two people. Do you know, have you just really sit down and thought about like how you still are obligated to become who you're supposed to become and to do the things that you're supposed to do and be on the path that you are meant to be on? You know you're still supposed to do that even though you're married to somebody? Do you know that they should respect that and understand that they too have that same responsibility to themselves? And, you know, you can't just stay joined at the hip and expect that that person will be on that path, but still, you know, accommodate you in every way. Sometimes growing means you this way and they that way. However, y'all gotta find a way to keep that stem intact while you grow. It's damn near impossible for a lot of people because I don't think they understand it or follow the logic all the way through when they say, I want to be married to somebody. I don't think they do that. And then sometimes maybe they did, but they get to this point like this other couple was like, well, I married you in this way and you were that, but now you different, you changed. She ain't changed. She just got some layers. And you can't put up with those layers because you don't love her enough to accept that part of her. And that's fine. Go be who you gonna be. Do what you gonna do. If it's a divorce, it's a divorce. But it don't have to be. Sometimes it's just, let's just put a pin in this. Like that other couple. Go there, do that, but you my person. And don't you ever forget it. I remember seeing a video not too long ago of somebody asking that wife, like, what if he goes off and finds, the one? Or what if you go off and find the one? What are you going to do then? You getting divorced? She was like, hold up, ain't going to be none of that. And I'm here for it. No, we not doing that at all. We got the one. That's my person, and we not changing that. Forget what all y'all got to say. All the millions and millions of new. Ain't none of that. She was clear. I'm feeling her on that. Yep. Totally understand now. Back then, you could not have told me any of this when I was getting married in the year 2000. Nope. It was supposed to be a certain way. But today, at 53 years old, no, I think we smart enough to find a way to make it what we need it to be without saying, nah, I'm going to go out here and be with a million other people. I don't need a million other people. I know what I'm doing. I know what I said. I know who I chose. I'm good. I don't need a million more options to know what I wanted to do. I already said what I wanted to do, and that's it. Yeah, she was like, nah, ain't none of that finding nobody. We not finding nobody. I couldn't agree more, girl. Go on, get your husband. If he in Tibet or wherever he at, it don't matter. He'll drop it and come running because he loves her enough with all her layers. That's what everybody should want as a wife. I don't know what y'all been looking at, what y'all think this is. I don't understand people these days. I swear I don't. I don't like people these days a lot too. But yeah, it's like, I know a lot of people that's been married 100 years. They don't have to be the same. They don't have to do the same things. No. And I guess in my generation, it was more common to stay together than to be apart. But I got some folks in my area who have been legally married for a long time, but ain't together. Y'all got some too. Y'all aunt and uncle, yeah, they married to somebody else. I don't care how long he had that girlfriend and how many family functions she comes to. That ain't his wife. Y'all know who his wife is. Y'all play too much. You don't understand what they doing over there. But that wife, she know what she doing. Mm-hmm. He could be a fool if he want to, but he ain't going nowhere. If she called right now today, he gonna be right there. What you need? I know a couple that they got 30-year-old kids. They were married for like, I don't even know, 20-some years maybe. And he done got a new wife. But if she called him, where he at? Want me to cut the grass? You say you want me to look at what? I'll fix it. Today. When you know, you know. People keep trying to make things what they want them to be, or they look around in the world and think they have enough information to make an assessment about how somebody else is supposed to live. Nah. When it comes to married people, you don't have a clue. They got their own way of doing things, and they understand each other fully. Trust me. If they divorced, I don't care. They still understand fully. That new wife, look here, the comedian Sinbad. He was talking one day. He said him and his wife were married for however many years, and then he said we've been divorced for 6 years. And we just got remarried. I was like, oh my God, this fool. And then he proceeded to be hilarious. He was like talking about how, I could get with this young girl and, it'll be great. But if I have a stroke, she don't know what to do. You get your old lady back, she gonna know what to do if you have a stroke. And didn't he have a stroke in real life? Like, after he told that joke, he had a real life stroke. And his wife was the one who pretty much saved his life. I swear life and art are so connected. Man, listen. You can't be in your 50s and then act like you gonna, be with the 20-year-old and she will have the kind of longevity that you require. She might love you. She might want to be with you. But when, certain natural occurrences happen and you can no longer provide certain things for her, but she still want the things, what's going to happen? Like, what you gonna do with that? What's she gonna do? She gonna be with you forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever? If you can't do that, first of all, she don't even understand enough about what marriage is or what it requires at her age. She hasn't seen enough. She hasn't done enough. She hasn't felt enough. She hasn't sacrificed enough. She don't have enough layers on her. They get you somebody with some layers on them and help her manage them layers. I'm trying to tell you. I did a video before about men aging out. All these health problems, your high blood pressure medication, your beta blockers for your heart or whatever, and that thing don't work no more. And what you gonna do? Yeah, y'all out here having heart attacks and strokes in record numbers, and then you looking at somebody like, I don't have to give you no money every time I turn around. I don't have to do what you gonna do for me. These new girls ain't having it. Not what you gonna do for me. What? Where they do that at? That's grandparent stuff. That's what my grandfather used to say. She ain't going for that. Mm-mm. But yeah, but I see right now that we on different paths, but I love you enough to stay with you. How about that for a but? We on different paths, and I'm gonna stay with you because you my person. Do you know how valuable it is to know and to understand and to have it reciprocated that that's your person and you their person? I don't think you do. A lot of y'all ain't never gonna feel that, but that is something special. Like, you go through this life looking for connection. You want friends who can understand you. You want family who can laugh with you and hang out with you and all these things. You want connection all over the place. That damn is like a different kind of completion. It's like I am loved and accepted and even appreciated and respected for being this kind of adult with another adult who understands. I can't explain it, but if you know, you know. I don't mean to pick on the young people, but y'all need to stay out of grown folks' business for real. Just to tell you the whole truth. Stay out of grown folks' business. Y'all go play. Just go play. And especially now, back in my day, in Gen X youth days, you could be a real adult in your 20s. We had different upbringing. We had more expectations and we had more interactions with the adult world at our young age. We weren't like these carefree kids. It was totally different for us. We grew up way different, faster, and better, in my opinion, than y'all. These new kids, these new young adults, I tell people now, if you're thinking about having a serious relationship, and you're not 30 years old, just don't. I'm gonna say 30 is the minimum age for you to start thinking about being serious about anything. Cause up until then, all y'all do is play. You don't want to be responsible for nothing. You want to be on somebody else's cell phone plan. You want to be on somebody else's car insurance. You want to be on somebody else's everything. You don't want to come to the table with your own stuff. I don't like them. I don't like these new kids. Y'all know that. But yeah, that's that. I'm right around the 33-minute mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and start winding down. But yeah, the couples and the marriage and the nothing new under the sun is a fact. All the same stuff still going on. But as you age up, you start to hopefully have windows of enlightenment open and you can see different situations a little bit differently and you can behave a little bit better. And I hope you find your person, though. I really do. Everybody should find their person. It's not about you being incomplete before you find that completion. It's about you being able to appreciate when you get it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a certain kind of not groomed. What's the word I'm looking for? You have to have enough seasoning on you to be able to walk into that and continue on with somebody as, you know, finding your person and having that kind of completion. But yeah, I hope you find it. I hope everybody finds it. I really do. It's good stuff. So here's to you and finding your person.